Hey, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Emirates Business Class on board the Airbus A380 on my recent flight from Singapore to Dubai in August 2025. I'm going to be reviewing the lounge beforehand, as well as the overall airport experience at Changi Airport. And then, when we get on board, I'm going to be reviewing the seat, the service, the food and drink, the facilities, and of course, the amenities. Our flight today from Singapore to Dubai clocks in at just over 5,800 kilometers and takes approximately 7.5 hours in the sky. The journey begins with an airport transfer, which is provided by Emirates for all business and first class passengers. They'll pick you up from your apartment and take you to the airport, and when you arrive, they will give you a transfer to your next destination within 80 kilometers. Do note that this is not available on the absolute cheapest business class fares, the Super Saver promo rate. However, you don't have to pay full fare either. My rate today was just a regular Saver rate, about $100 more than the absolute cheapest, and it included the airport transfers on both ends. Owing to Singapore's very efficient transfer design, there's a direct road that takes you straight to the airport, so the journey time today was only about 20 minutes. The driver dropped me off at the exact drop-off point near the Emirates check-in desk, and as you can see here, the business class check-in had no queue, so I had my boarding pass in hand in about 5 minutes. As always, Singapore immigration was incredibly efficient, and I was through in under a minute. The flight today was departing from Changi Airport Terminal 1, and when I made it through, I turned left, walked for about 5 minutes, and made my way to the Emirates Business Class Lounge. Just past the Irvin's salted egg fish skin stand, you'll see an escalator, which takes you up to the lounge area. Once you reach the top of the escalator, you simply turn left at the Plaza Premier Lounge and you will see the Emirates Business Class Lounge. Or, I should say, just the Emirates Lounge, because they don't have a dedicated section for first class. I'm going to review this lounge more fully in a separate video, but for the purposes of this video, I will say that the lounge was huge. It had plenty of seating, so you would certainly never struggle to get a seat, and they had a wide variety of self-service, hot and cold food options. A great place to spend a few hours before your flight. Having had some dinner in the lounge, it was time to make my way over to my flight. The flight today was departing from gate C25, which is unfortunately one of the furthest sea gates. I suspect they had to use this because it was the A380 we were flying on today. After walking for about 7 to 8 minutes, I found myself at the gate and took this shot of the Airbus A380 that was going to take us to Dubai. Honestly, every time I see this plane, I'm in awe. I cannot fathom how it gets up in the air. Once I made my way through security, I took a seat in the dedicated business class section of the gate. It was so cool that Emirates segregated the gate because, as you can see on the other side, it was very, very chaotic, but on this side there were plenty of seats. Boarding was called shortly after I arrived, and I made my way down the very long jet bridge to the plane. I got on the plane and took my seat in seat 16A, which is a business class seat on the upper deck. I love flying on the A380, and I always try and get an upper deck seat if I can. It's so cool to be on the second story of an aeroplane. The seat was wide and comfortable and came with a large in-flight entertainment screen loaded with the ICE system, which is Emirates in-flight entertainment. There was also plenty of storage bins on the side of your seat for you to store your belongings if you didn't want to put them in the overhead compartment. Pre-departure drinks were offered, and I chose apple juice as I wasn't drinking today, although champagne was on offer. One cool feature of this seat is that they have a dedicated snack and drink section, so you can have something whenever you want as soon as you get on board. The seat also comes with a tablet to control the in-flight entertainment. To the right of your seat, there is plenty of power sockets, including USB-A and a universal power adapter, so you'll have no issues charging your devices on the flight. If you don't want to use the full tablet, you can also use this remote control, which comes with a large digital display. The seat is controlled by these 4 buttons, which are intuitive and very easy to understand. Honestly, a child could use these. The cabin itself is huge. The business class section takes up almost the entire upper deck, and seats are arranged in a 1-2-1 configuration. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, please subscribe. It really helps my channel. I was pleased to see that post-COVID, Emirates has returned to paper menus in business class. Let's take a look inside. Unlike a lot of airlines, Emirates separates its wine list into a separate menu. So let's begin by looking at the main menu. On offer today are a wide variety of juices and soft drinks, as well as an extensive cocktail and mocktail list. They also offer a number of high-end spirits, including single malt Scotch whisky and XO cognac. For food, a number of light bites are available that you can order at any point, and the main meal is breakfast, which will be served shortly before landing. Next up is the separate wine list. To begin with, we have Veuve Clicquot champagne. Interestingly, Emirates is the only airline able to serve this champagne, as they secured the exclusive rights to it. You also have a number of white wines, red wines, and a port wine to choose from. Before takeoff, the crew also distributed amenity kits. Now, I didn't film this on the flight. I'm going to take a look when I'm back in my apartment. I filmed this bit back in my apartment as it was kind of difficult to shoot this on a moving plane. The amenity kit is provided by Bulgari, which is a very high-end brand. Let's take a look inside. I was surprised to see just how comprehensive and full this amenity kit was. It had a Gillette shaver, which is a good quality of shaver brand. It came with a miniature, but still very substantial bottle of shaving foam. In addition to this, they provided a miniature bottle of Bulgari post-shave balm, and also a dental kit comprised of a toothbrush and a small bottle of toothpaste. But it doesn't end here. Digging further into the bag, we saw that they provide a small packet of tissues, and next, something that surprised me, they actually offered a miniature bottle of Bulgari aftershave. This is a 5 milliliter bottle of eau de parfum and smelled absolutely delicious. There's no way you could get through this on the flight, so this is yours to keep for the future. It keeps on going. As I dig further into the bag, I can also see they offer a miniature bottle of Bulgari hand lotion, as well as a small miniature of deodorant by Rexona. Finally, there are only 2 items left. The first is a foldable comb to brush your hair, and also a small bottle of lip balm. Honestly, I've got to say, this is the most comprehensive amenity kit I've ever seen, including on first-class airlines like Singapore Airlines. There is literally everything you could need here for a 7.5-hour flight, and with sizes large enough to take home after you. Also provided were slippers and an eye mask, although I will note the slippers were a little bit small for my size 11 feet. The headphones are Emirates' own brand headphones. They are noise cancelling, padded, and extremely comfortable. In addition to being comfortable, they were also some of the most tasteful headphones I've seen on an airline, with a nice wood trim.
Or celebrities trying to be funny, I'm afraid. But at Emirates, safety always comes first. So it's important that we take you through some safety features before takeoff. And then you all can get back to our award-winning entertainment system. So, here we go. Please make sure you have placed all your bags up here in the overhead locker. There are life jackets under or to the side of your seat. remove the life jacket and put it over your head. Bring the tape around your waist and fasten at the front.
The main deck and 6 on the upper deck.
If we need to evacuate, leave all your bags behind and follow the lights on the floor to the nearest exit. Take off high-heeled shoes.
Steps. Check the safety card in your seat pocket or ask us at any time.
Now we're going to make the final preparations for departure. So sit back, relax, and enjoy your Emirates flight.
Our colleagues will be with you once we're airborne to ensure you receive our Fly Better experience. Thank you for flying Emirates.
The safety video, displayed in both Arabic and English, was described as no frills, which I quite enjoyed compared to a lot of safety videos that feel like theatrical performances these days. With the safety video complete, we pushed back from our gate, and after a short taxi, we're ready for takeoff. I've got to say, I really do love how smooth the takeoff is in an A380. You barely feel the acceleration and it's so quiet. As this was a night flight, I wanted to get to sleep straight away, so I went to the toilets to freshen up before sleep. I must say, I liked these toilets. They had 4 of them at the back of the cabin, so you wouldn't need to wait. A bunch of amenities, like additional toothbrushes and shavers were provided. And they also offered small bottles of perfume or aftershave so that you smell nice during your flight. These are by the brand Voa, which I haven't heard of before. Voya, I think that should be. But they smelled good. The toilets were clean and spotless throughout the flight, and the toilet seat had a nice wooden finish. I got a good 5 hours sleep and woke up with just under 2 hours left before arrival into Dubai. When I woke up, it wasn't quite ready for breakfast yet, although I was hungry because I didn't eat on takeoff, so I had some of the snacks which were provided in the seat. These consisted of macadamia nuts, jelly beans, and some Arabic dates. About half hour after I woke up, the lights were raised in the cabin, which told me we were going to be having breakfast soon. I really like how Emirates slowly raised the lights so that your eyes had time to adjust and you weren't blinded by them being turned on all at once. As I predicted, breakfast was due to be served, and the crew came round to set up our tray table to begin the breakfast service. Breakfast was served all on one tray at the same time. It consisted of a croissant, which was hot, so I think it must have been heated just before serving. We also had a small bowl of fruit, and for my main course, I went for the pancakes. The pancakes were actually really good, light, fluffy, and just the right level of sweet. They also served breakfast with a yogurt. Overall, the breakfast was pretty good. I've had better, but I've had far worse. Crucially, it came with 2 cups of coffee, and I'm sure I could have had a third if I wanted. Speaking of which, turns out I did want a third cup of coffee, which, when ordered, was served with a small plate of Arabic sweets. With breakfast over, all there was to sit back and enjoy the in-flight entertainment as we approached Dubai. I watched a little bit of a movie, and then, with about 40 minutes remaining to landing, the captain came on the intercom to announce we were beginning our descent into Dubai. Time for landing. The taxi to the gate took about 10 minutes, and we soon found ourselves ready to disembark at our gate, which today was gate A2 in the A concourse. Deplaning was very efficient, and in no time at all, I found myself in Dubai Airport, making my way to the transit desk for my next flight. Overall, this was an excellent flight, and really made me reconsider my view on taking a direct flight versus connecting in Dubai or Qatar. Right from the beginning, we were off to a good start, with a complimentary airport transfer included in the ticket price. It's a small touch, but it really makes you have a good start to your journey. At the airport, check-in was a breeze, with absolutely no queue whatsoever for business class passengers, and my boarding pass in my hand in under 5 minutes. Once through security, the lounge was a very pleasant place to spend a couple of hours before the flight. And even boarding was simple, with a separate section of the gate exclusively for business and first class passengers, meaning you didn't have to fight for a seat. Once on board, I found the seat spacious and comfortable, and the in-flight entertainment was some of the most comprehensive I've seen on any airline, and I loved being on the upper deck of the A380. I also really liked the fact that snacks and drinks were provided in your seat, so that you could have something as soon as you boarded or as soon as you wake up. The amenities, like the headphones, were some of the most tasteful ones I've seen on any airline, and I really loved the amenity kit. This was definitely the most comprehensive amenity kit I've received in business or first class. The food and drink were good, although of course a breakfast service isn't going to allow you to see what the airline can truly offer. But I did love to see the small touches, such as the Arabic sweets that were served when I requested an additional coffee. I usually like to fly direct to my destination. In this case, I was flying to London. However, this flight was such a breeze, so smooth and convenient, it's really made me rethink my approach on this. I wouldn't hesitate to take it again, and I would recommend it for you too. 5 out of 5 stars.